basically a notebook against poachers that are armed with highly dangerous weapons and more. How is this an equal fight?
I started right on the ground as a tracker, and I worked all the way up to be the CEO now, and I know how hard it is. It's commitment and dedication and the patience that you have for the animal. It's really hard. It's like you had something in your house that you are protecting for so long, and when you go away from home, somebody comes and kills it.
Today on One, your daily dose of local affairs and social media commentary.
Today on One, Namibia's environmental controversies frustrates advocacy groups. UNESCO stresses women and girls' participation in science and technology. Commuter and taxi driver arrested on suspicion of stolen items. And a website inspires youth through quotes.
Namibia has been hit by several unresolved environmental controversies, ranging from an alleged proposal which is underway to export large amounts of semi-processed Namibian bush biomass for energy creation in Germany, the oil and gas exploration and potential production in the Okavango Basin by Recon Africa, to the proposed phosphate mining project off Namibia's coast. Labour researcher Herbert Jauch condemned the controversial initiative, which aims to supply large amounts of semi-processed Namibian bush biomass for energy creation in Germany. Jauch added that this will be a missed opportunity for the government in Namibia to create broader developmental objectives such as job creation and the establishment of value chains and the local generation of energy in the country.
These German cities want to move away from coal, which is very environmentally damaging, and looking for alternative sources. And one possibility is to power those plants through this invader bush pellets from Namibia. If we do that, if we go that route, it means a large-scale harvesting will have to happen in Namibia. And Namibians will just cut the bush basically, and turn it into kind of pellets for exports. And that would probably have to be a contract over a very long period, because the German energy authorities will want to have a steady supply over many years. We are saying, is this again a colonial pattern where Africa is the supplier of raw materials or semi-processed goods on a large scale, but the actual conversion and the actual benefits are then accrued elsewhere, namely in this case in Germany, where they gain the energy. Also, Namibia is still an energy importer from South Africa, and it's mostly dirty energy, kind of coal energy. So if there are alternatives to create cleaner energy, why are we not utilizing them here instead of continuing to import everything? And there we say, hold on, let us not rush into an export agreement with Germany that requires then a large-scale harvesting for energy creation there. Let us first focus on local utilization and on creating finished products like boards and school furniture. That would be, from a developmental perspective, and especially in terms of job creation, a far, far better approach.
While I was busy confronting some of the people from Recon Africa, one of them also said, like in a very soft voice, "I will beat you."
Meanwhile, another controversial environmental issue that has created hostility among local and international advocacy groups is the oil and gas exploration in the Okavango Basin by Recon Africa. Today on One spoke to Ina Maria Shikongo, one of the activists advocating for an end to the drilling in the environmentally sensitive protected area.
We were putting pressure since September to get answers. National Geographic printed a story of which they were also threatened by Recon Africa to actually, they wanted to slap them with a lawsuit or retract the comments, which they didn't, and they obviously printed a follow-up story which was just released now, and obviously international pressure is now really growing because the Kavango is really a very sensitive ecosystem.
Another controversial environmental issue that is yet to be resolved in the country is the proposed phosphate mining project off the coast of Namibia, which drew public scrutiny from the National Union of Namibian Workers, who joined the Trade Union Congress of Namibia to march against the issuing of an environmental clearance certificate to the mining company that aims to mine the phosphate off the seabed of Namibia's ocean.
Sharp shoppers spend $500 in store and stand a chance to win one of 24 Ryobi angle grinders. On sale, aluminium multi-purpose folding ladder, only $1,040. Ryobi electric lawnmower, just $3,900. Plascon Trade Pro Bright Matte White, 20 liters, $560. Aluminium entrance door in bronze frame, only $4,250. Shop now and enter to win in store. Let's build and win Shop together. Valid to 4 April. T's and C's apply.
Community Voices proudly brought to you by Namdeb Diamond Corporation. Good today, better tomorrow.
In celebration of the International Day of Women and Girls in Science, the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization in Namibia is urging more participation of women and girls in science in order to fill the gender gap in the science, technology, engineering and mathematics disciplines. The 11th of February of every year was declared the International Day of Women and Girls in Science by the United Nations General Assembly in 2018. The day was established to recognize the critical role women and girls play in science and technology and to raise awareness on the strengthening of women and girls' participation in the STEM fields.
The International Day of Women and Girls in Science will be a virtual event tomorrow because of the current situation in Namibia, and we will have a number of interesting people from Namibia, local experts in science, who will give remarks and present us the current situation of science, technology, engineering and mathematics in the country, and we'll also get a UNESCO perspective. But best of all, we will have wonderful women scientists, including our young scientist and activist, Ms. Sabrina Ludwig, having a panel discussion on how we can close the gender gap. I think the issue that has not received so much attention is retention of females in the science fields, in senior levels. But definitely girls are making up greater numbers in the classrooms, in universities, in the science sector.
Microbiology graduate Sabrina Ludwig says women and girls are still a minority in many science, technology, engineering and mathematics disciplines. However, more women are showing an interest, encouraging girls to do research in the fields.
I would say that the women that started then, who pursued science then, they had the goal to pave a way for us females later on. So I think it's very important for us as females today and for females that are yet to come to keep on paving the way for us female generation in science. And what people say that men makes up the majority in science, it might be so in some STEM fields, but it's also not so, because I can assure you there are fantastic science women out there that have achieved a lot in research. And it doesn't mean that because you haven't heard of it, it's not there. So I would just say, if you really love it and you want to pursue it, do research. There's a woman out there who probably already did it. You can grasp the inspiration from or ambition from her. Make that your role model.
A geologist herself, UNESCO's National Program Officer for Science, notes that with women making up 52% of the population, having more women in the science fields will create a diverse workforce.
It's a profession that allows you to travel all over the country to look at the rocks. I've been to corners of Namibia that most people haven't been to, and you get to see nature at its best. And I can tell you that Namibia is a beautiful place to look at rocks. I think we get a bad rap sometimes, but there's also cool scientists. And being scientist doesn't mean that you are this unique creature in society. Science contributes to everyday life. So I would encourage girls and young people to take part in science, and basically, to sum it up, to be curious about how things work.
UNESCO's Girls and Women's Education in STEM report of 2017 shows that female students represent only 35% of all students enrolled in STEM-related fields of study at higher education level globally.
The city police apprehended a commuter and taxi driver who were in possession of 350 kg bags of cosmetic products.
Our members on the patrols are looking out for these taxis that are still having 2 digits, so that we can just direct advise them to get to our office to change, so that we can get them on our new system. So this taxi attracted the members on patrol, and the taxi was stopped just to advise them to come to our office for these processes of changing to the new system. But then the members also decided to search the taxi just to find these products in the taxi. The taxi driver was asked where he got this stuff, but he said no, it belongs to one of the commuters in the taxi. And the commuter was then asked where he got this stuff. He claims that he bought it on the street at Monte Cristo service station, which is not a satisfactory answer for us. That's why we brought him to our office, and definitely we will lock him up, detain him for further investigations. We will lock him up for in possession of suspected stolen property. He doesn't own any shop, so it's not satisfactory for us that he should have all these things.
The suspect was detained along with the taxi driver who was operating without a blue paper and has a warrant for his arrest.
The taxi driver, on the side of the taxi driver, is a taxi driver. Anyone can commute. Anyone can stop and get onto the taxi. But then he will also have to assist us with the investigation. On the taxi driver's side, he was also found to afford a blue paper. And then, of course, he also have outstanding warrants of arrest to the amount of 6,000. So that's why he will also be detained. Let's not buy stolen property. Let's not go and buy stuffs on the street. You know, it will always end up in places where you don't want to be. So it's advisable, go and shop from legitimate places. Avoid buying from the street.
Boys said investigations will continue and urge community members to come forth to assist in the investigations if they know of any burglaries in their areas or any theft, as the suspects are detained on charges of being in possession of suspected stolen items.
Nam Inspiration is a website founded by a young woman who had a vision of empowering fellow youth by bringing them inspiring quotes from individuals that play a pivotal role in society. During this uncertain period, it reaches out to those that long for normal times. When a young Miriam Ngidipo started to work on an idea 5 years ago, she never expected that in 2021 it would serve as a platform that would bring together Namibians from all walks of life to be inspired, educated and motivated through quotes from prominent national figures. Since the pandemic began, many have been finding it difficult to cope with the situation, and the NAM Inspiration website gave hope with its inspirational stories and quotes.
The internet is filled with so many quotes, but there's no Namibian inspirational website that houses inspirational quotes by Namibians. And today we have a Namibian website that features inspirational quotes by Namibians only in different sectors: politics, health, environment, women empowerment, youth, Africa, and so forth. I've seen now young people have started commenting, saying, no, I was feeling very down, but seeing that there are, people have so many inspiring stories. Some didn't even go to school, but they didn't give up. Some don't have a job, but they didn't give up. Innovation is key in this instance. And I'll share my story as much as I can, because the government has its own agencies that are there in place to assist young people with innovation. I think the message needs to go out more. We will engage relevant OMAs to see how we can partner up to assist in sharing these inspirational stories that also speak to the economy and to the current situation that the young people are facing. So young people must not give up. There is light at the end of the tunnel.
The initiative now has 7 volunteers who form part of the team that captures the short phrases and words of wisdom for the public. Ngidipo said that they now wish to undertake different approaches through which to inspire the nation.
So we're going to launch a clothing line whereby it will be a t-shirt or a shirt with a quote by a Namibian and the picture. We are done with the designs and they will soon hit the market. And then we have started with inspirational video sessions whereby we sit one-on-one with inspiring figures of the Republic of Namibia. Then they just tell us a bit about themselves. And with these videos, we have realized that Namibians have so much to share, and it's about time we expand telling our stories ourselves. So we have done 3 videos so far. We're going to launch them on the YouTube channel, which will also be launched very soon, so that the stories can go viral, so Namibians can get more inspired. And we're also going to have a monthly celebration of a specific hero or heroine, starting in February up until December.
She shared with us her favorite quote from the founding father, Sam Nujoma,
which is actually a quote that I live by. And it's the one that says, "A people united, striving to achieve a common goal, all its members of the society shall emerge victorious."
Today, I'm joined by a panel of men. As per usual, we men get to talk about what we men really talk about. The program aims to make sure that what is left in the dark definitely comes to light.
I did see my father physically abusing my mother. So I didn't grow up with that I should beat a woman, because I hated what my dad did to my mom.
Whether this older woman does it with you, whether she, violates you, it's sort of seen that boosts your ego as a man.
Was that as a young man, I think at 17, 18, I started dating and realized that it's a very fascinating thing to have sex and so forth. So we had lots of what we call friends with benefits.
In other leading stories, Namibia Trade Statistics Bulletin from the Namibia Statistics Agency shows that during the month of December 2020, Namibia's top 4 trading partners in terms of exports remain the same as in the previous month. The top 4 countries, China, South Africa, Botswana and Belgium, maintain their positions, while Zambia claimed the 5th position from Germany to be among the top 5 trading partners. These top 5 markets accounted for 70% of Namibia's total exports. China emerged as the main export market for the country, absorbing 38.1% of all goods exported, ahead of South Africa in the second place, whose market share of Namibia's exports stood at 13.6% of total exports. Botswana claimed the third position to account for 8.9%, while Belgium and Zambia occupied the fourth and fifth position with respective shares of 5.5% and 3.9%. South Africa remained Namibia's largest import market with a share of 47.3% of the value of all goods received into the country during the month under review. Following in the second place was Zambia with a contribution of 17% of total imports. Furthermore, China in third place accounts for 4.6% of Namibia's total imports, whereas DRC and Spain occupy the fourth and fifth positions with contributions of 4.5% and 2.8% respectively. Welcome to Comments Corner, your daily dose of local comments from the hottest social media pages. MTC Chief Human Capital and Corporate Affairs Officer Time Kanjo has partnered with the Namibian Police Force and the Karas Region Governor by offering $25,000 Namibia reward to anybody with information that would lead to finding missing Mandela. The 3-year-old, whose full name is Spencer Mandela Nakale, has been missing since 28 December last year from Area 7 and mysteriously disappeared without a trace from his parents' home in Luderitz. Collins said, "How will people approach the law enforcement with the whereabouts of the boy if it will mean more questions for them?" Peters said that there is no safe place for kids in society anymore and urges parents and guardians to be vigilant. Andreas said Time Kanjo is indeed a people's person. Harkis said someone might have information but is afraid of interrogation from the police. Malani said it is said that money is offered for information for missing child. Giving information should come natural. Tamangula said any person that knows where the boy is must come out because the parents are traumatized. Ikololo said, "Where are the religious leaders? They should help get the child back." Ali thanked Ekanjo for the kind gesture. Maina said Ekanjo needs to lead the country because of this. And that is all from Comments Corner. Be sure to post your comments on our social media pages for broadcast every day only on Today and One.
Hip-hop was born to speak on urban life. What started in the Bronx eventually blew up, became global, went on to define pop culture. Its roots of empowerment, consciousness, and raw talent soon got crowded out by its commercial success. But there's been a movement of change bubbling in the underground. The past few years, inspirational hip-hop, aka Christian hip-hop, has broken into the mainstream. We've been covering it for over a decade. We're Soul Mag TV, speaking on urban life, keeping faith in the conversation. Christian hip-hop artists are regularly charting on Billboard and iTunes charts. They're sold out tours, mainstream media appearances, and even Grammy Awards. Soul Mag TV has exclusive interviews with top artists in the genre and features the latest music videos and visuals.
A look at the weather forecast. Heavy falls will persist in the northern regions. Please take the necessary precautions. The interior, partly cloudy and warm to hot over the Khomas and Omaheke regions with a few thunder showers, otherwise cloudy and warm to hot with isolated thunder showers but widespread in the northern regions. The coast, partly cloudy and cool to warm with showers. The wind light to moderate northwesterly. Now a look at the minimum and maximum temperatures around the country and beyond.
Many wondering why kangaroo. Kangaroo is why kangaroo. Many wondering why kangaroo. Kangaroo is why kangaroo. Kangaroo super cool. He's very cool. Kangaroo super cool. Very cool. And I like his dance move. And I like his dance move. And I like his dance move. That's why I dance like kangaroo. 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 Benamemuna ushaho karire. Ragabito mito milebe. Ragabito mito milebe. Ragabito mito milebe. Ola bandona gella diva. Ola bandona che sobiso. Ola bandona gella diva. Ola bandona che sobiso. Sobiso. Ai sobiso. Sobiso. Ai sobiso. Sobiso. Ai sobiso. Lili shotgun. Maxine lifika shiwonga. Mami lato ya hoveka. Ono korubanda. Libere basha kwadi. kainiwa socks koshinyo yakwa gorubanda kikana le shukungo topsuko de vakashake yanja kuye shitemita tulimuye wa chavera kasugo angeu kashina chitaura wa bereti chenzi katuo general chavo wange ushita patema chipewa kamurongo katuko chipati levangapi uva chimbinono chimbimbaha lexikeya professor Hami Sherivanga, the dancing queen, Gracie Shikaete. Atudan kangaroo, atukundu kangaroo.
Chilling detail, how they were acting in